Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. All right, when was the last time that something small caught you off guard? A couple of hours ago? Yesterday? I mean, how many times a day? You know, where you felt that urge to react before you even thought about it? I mean, like somebody cuts you off in traffic, and you boom, boom, or someone interrupts you mid-sentence, and someone gives you feedback you didn't ask for. Or maybe you're just watching the news and something horribly wrong and you get all riled up. Nothing dramatic, just life, kind of arriving uninvited. And we are living in a world of what I call arrows in, constant incoming arrows. Okay. Billions of dollars are actually being spent to get your attention. And if they can get you to be angry or mad or fight, then they win. So the real question is, what do we do in that sliver of a second when these arrows arrive? How do we handle that? All right, some of you will remember something that we've talked about in previous episodes. It's called the turn the spoon moment. If you remember, one morning I was sitting with my problems, woe is me, turning them over in my mind, and I happened to notice a spoon. And here's all you need to know. I looked at the concave side of the spoon, and I saw myself completely upside down. I said, whoa, turned it around, and I see myself right side up. Same spoon, completely different perspective. So I want you to hold that image. Hold it, because something happened to me just this week that brought it all back. Not a big deal. As I was stepping off an elevator on the third floor of this beautiful resort hotel, heading for my room with where Lori was there, before I could even get my footing, before the door was even open, a man and his wife pushed right past me, kind of bumped into me, knocked me away. No pause, no warning at all, just boom. Okay, I felt it. I had that little flash. Why couldn't I wait just 1 second? Good grief, what's going on? But then I remembered the spoon, so I turned it. Maybe they were in a hurry. Maybe they were worried about missing something. I didn't know. But at the same moment, different perspective. So I held the door open as they settled in. And the man looked up again as he turned around and goes, oh, sorry. Said it again. So I smiled and I turned to him and asked, why do you keep saying sorry? And he looked at me and he started to explain. And I said, sometimes when we say I'm sorry, we really want to be saying thank you. We miss the opportunity to express gratitude. And it was like a light went on. Thank goodness, because he looked at his wife, she looked at him. They both turned to me and at the same time said, thank you. And then thank you a second time. All right, now 10 seconds, an elevator, two strangers, and something that could have been nothing became something. Something that at least I won't forget, and I don't think they will either. You see, conflict is inevitable. Contention is a choice. Conflict, it visits us without permission every single day. And that's not a problem to solve. That's just the world being the world. But contention only stays when we invite it in. Think about it. In every conflict, there's a moment, sometimes it's just a breath wide, where we get to choose what happens next. Do we react or do we respond? Do we reach for sorry or do we reach for thank you? Conflict may visit us without permission, but contention only stays when we invite it. And that gap, that sliver between what happens and how we respond, is where everything is decided. The spoon is always right there. The only question is whether or not we remember to turn it. And this is a muscle. It's a muscle like any muscle. It gets stronger when we use it. And not only use it, but when we notice it. So I've developed a habit. Each night I write in my personal journal. This is my accountability journal. I write not just events, but experiences that I'm grateful for, no matter how small, especially the small ones. Because guess what? That's where the muscles are developed. That's where reps happen. The quiet review of tiny moments where we chose well or we missed, and then what we can do differently tomorrow to make it even better. The elevator made it into my journal that night. It was small, yet it was everything. So for all you ripple makers out there, ripple makers can be good or bad, but I'm talking about the great ripple makers out there. Today, when conflict arrives uninvited, and it will, remember the spoon. And in that sliver of a second, pause, turn it, choose, and then tonight, write down that one moment, no matter how small it was, where you flipped it. And that's how the muscle grows, one moment at a time. Conflict is inevitable. Contention is a choice. Live life deliberately. Let's make this a meaningful week. I look forward to seeing you next week right here. Bye-bye.